the most common that you'll see is that as I shoot, remember I'm reaching for his leg here, so it's usually easier just to go over the top. That's probably the more common of the two. But we'll go over both, and then that way we can cover the full spectrum. What did we do the other night? We went over other types like that. Yeah. You do find yourself in like no-arm guillotines as well. And probably if you can, I would suggest going for the no-arm guillotine. They're actually easier to finish than they are when you've got the arm. When you've got the arm, you're trying to choke through all of this as well, not just his neck. So now my choke has to get around on here. So if you can go no arm, then that's what I would recommend, but of course, not always the case. So now Kev, guillotine, now shoot, bang, keep going, you get to his guard. Okay, everything stuffed up. Yep, like that. Okay, and we end up here. So, couple of key points when you're defending or caught, especially when you're in their guard in the guillotine. Number one thing, take your free hand and straight away start that hand fight. Because he's going to be choking me, I need to take some of the pressure off. I'm not going to take it all off unless I'm way stronger, but I'm going to take enough that hopefully I can buy myself time. Just sit up for me. My arm that's caught, this one, because he's over the top of it, I'm actually going to go deep as I can and grab a hold of his back. I want to try and get it so that my shoulder can dive and sort of drill right into his sternum, just below it, into his diaphragm here. So the deeper I can get that, the more I'm going to position my shoulder right on his diaphragm. If my arm's loose like this, my shoulder's not going to be in contact. Okay, so I've shot, back a step, bang, he guillotines me, I didn't have good posture, I finish here. Straight away, take some pressure off, feed that deep. Now, when he's guillotining me, remember, he wants to crunch down to the side the head's on so that he can get more pressure. So naturally, if I'm escaping, I want to take my head the other way. So when I'm in this position here, I'm going to run my legs to the opposite side from where my head is. So I drive my shoulder pressure in, and I run like that. Okay, I'm trying to open up this space that he was trying to take away. Now when I do that, I sort of want to sprawl my hips. You can keep your guard closed if you can. I want to sprawl my hips and make sure this leg isn't up like this. Just get a butterfly hook here for me. He puts that in, sweeps me. Now he's in a mounted guillotine and things just got way worse. Okay, so when you end up, you've been trapped, he pulls you in, hand fight, get deep. Now put the pressure on the shoulder, run in and turn, and now keep this leg either tight to his butt, so get the butterfly hook in now. See that, you can't reach it, or keep it really low. I like to keep it up if I can. Now from this position here, I'm going to start to shake on his grip as I look up at the roof. Don't just try and pull it. Don't just try and muscle it and pull it off. Again, unless you're way stronger, probably won't work. I want to go something that's probably going to work on everyone, not only people who are smaller than me. So he's holding tight, I'm going to look up, hold tight, yep, shake, shake, shake like that. As soon as that grip breaks, I'm going to punch this hand to the floor, boom, and come back. Now the good thing is, when I come back and I punch that down, this hand is here, so I can catch it straight away. And now from here I can trap his arm underneath his body, and now I can start working on passing, and that arm is now out of action here. You don't have to end it out, that's just a nice little bonus. Okay, so I shoot, it's a crap shot though, bang, he pulls me in. Land, drive in, I'm trying to take the pressure off here. Run to the side. Keep my leg tight so he can't sweep. Look up as much as you can. Shake. Now straight away, jam that down, catch it, and now I can sit up. And now I can use my elbow to start to work on my pass. Cross face, if you can from here, it's really nice to go to mount and keep that arm where it is. Okay, because it's easy now to bring the arm over the head once you get your points and you stabilise. Drop that hip, pull him as you go, if he doesn't get any points, it wasn't a sweep. And then shoulder lock. Arm for that guillotine, they're going to go over the top, so it's a no arm or an arm out guillotine. So we're in this position, but he managed, turn this a little bit, he managed to get that in front of my arm as I got to here. Okay, so back so they can See, so again, he pulls me into his guard, or I take him down, and we end up in the same spot, but again, now I've got both arms free. So, it's just like, go for 1 sec. I was saying before, if you can do this one, it's a better one to get. It's this weird kind of thing though, where it's actually kind of easier for him to tap me, because he's not trying to choke my shoulder as well, but it's also easier for me to defend. I have more, because you can see I've got both my hands free to defend here, so it gives me more defensive options, but his attacking position is actually better, weirdly enough. Yet when he's got my arm trapped, it's actually harder for him to finish, because again, he's trying to choke all of this as well, but at the same time, my arm's trapped, so it's kind of harder for me to defend. It's this kind of weird little thing that goes on. So here he comes up, yep, he's got that, and we find ourselves in the same position. So, exactly like before, first things first, address the choke. Anytime a hand goes around your neck, you need to have at least one hand trying to fight it. Unless it's like not real at all and it's not even doing anything, but if it's a legitimate threat, you need to at least try and take some pressure off. So he's squeezing a bit, I'm trying to take some pressure off. Now, we're going to do the same exact move that we did, but instead of having our arm under his back, we're going to come up and reach around his shoulder here. So the idea is I'm going to try and drive my shoulder into his neck. So I go deep, I run onto my side, I'm scrolling, see how his guard open there. If you get good pressure, that'll often happen. And now I'm holding him in place. Now I look up, shake to break the grip, and now we can literally do the exact same thing before. Walk back over his arm if we're struggling to hand it off, and we can pin it there and work on our pass. If it's MMA, we're in a fantastic spot to strike because he's only got one arm to defend. Or we can just sit here, and then we can come back and pass again. And we've got our takedown points if it's a competition. Okay? You don't get takedown points if you're still in a guillotine. So if I'm wrestling in a comp, I take him down, he guillotines me, we could spend 2 minutes in the guillotine, I get 0 points. It's not until the choke is over and my head pops out that they'll give me my points. Okay, so if it's like, imagine it's 2-2 and there's a minute to go, I take Kev down and he holds onto that guillotine for dear life. Because if the clock runs out, they don't give me my points, so then it's no, I don't win. Okay? Yep. So same thing, just get back up. So here I shoot, he doesn't get my arm on this side, so 2 arms free. So again, address the choke first. Drive in enough that you can reach without extending your arm. Just go a little bit, yeah, because you don't want him to give up on the choke and armbar you instead. Okay, so I want to take myself forward so I can reach in nice and tight and get that shoulder positioning. Now I run, dropping that hip and sprawling, trying to open that guard. Shake, drive that hand free. Come back here, pin it, posture up. Alright, so just switch your feet so they can see. Yep, so here, yep. So I shoot again, he's got the no arm guillotine, so both arms are free, I go into his guard, bang, and I'm in here. It can take a lot of effort to pass guard, and I would 100% recommend trying to pass before doing this. But this is a really nice choke that we can use if for whatever reason we just can't pass at all. So same thing, first address the choke. Drive in to come up, how we did before, get that nice and deep. Now I'm going to drive in, and as I drive I want to push my head in deeper into the choke. Okay, now the hand that was trying to break the grip off, I'm not going to worry about the grip. Leave that there to trap his arm, and I'm actually going to bring this arm and I'm shrugging my shoulder trying to make sure that his hand will get stuck between my head and my shoulder. So I'm going to drive in, get nice and tight and lock my hands. Now from here I'm going to tripod and I'm going to put my shoulder in his neck, tripod up and then rotate, and I just hold. You don't even need to squeeze really, just hold on and let gravity, your whole body weight going into them, do the work. You're not trying to do this and really choke them. Okay? You might have to stand there for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. You could stand there for 5 minutes and not get tired because you're not really doing much. You're just in that tripod position there. Okay? So he gets his head, just push your bum back a little bit, sit up. Yep, so he gets in here. He didn't get my arm. Boom. Straight away, I'm defending, getting in position.
I can't break the grip for whatever reason. I can't break the guard. So now I'm going to drive in, shrug my shoulder, lock my hands, tripod up, and just lean. And see how I sort of rotate. So to put the pressure on, I turn my body in, and I just hold. And rather than getting out, we just stay in there and use his choke against him to choke.